Hello and welcome everybody to Simply Technical. Evan here again, joined with Keaton. Back at it again with episode number 19. Just recorded last week with Jaron, and that was a pretty interesting topic. I didn't speak a lot, which is great because then I'm learning.
Yeah, it's actually, it seems like it's one of the more popular ones we've had on the decline of Christianity. I guess that's part two. Our original declining Christianity was back in 2020, 2019 maybe.
2020.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I like to do little tangents like that. It's not necessarily scientific, which is what we kind of like to, stick on, but it's good to branch out a little bit and get new topics in.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for all the support, especially on shorts, and thank you for watching our videos, even the long form stuff. Much appreciated. We're at like 150 subscribers now, or something close to that.
Yeah.
We're not numbers people. Well, I'm a numbers guy, I guess.
I'm a numbers guy now. I wasn't before.
But the numbers, it's just about having fun and discussing and learning new things. So today we are going to talk about, there's a new bill that got introduced. AOC and another political figure,
Gates. I don't remember his first name. Matt Gates
are, I guess, co-sponsoring or proposing a bill to limit senators or at least government officials from trading in the stock market. It's kind of been a hot topic, at least on Facebook, with some of my more conservative friends talking about how they need term limits and they also need to not be able to, trade in stock, because they're on a bunch of these councils where they get to discuss things. Different business ideas are proposed, denying, quote unquote monopolies. There might already be a monopoly, but denying monopolies or trying to break up companies. So they have kind of insider trading, which, if you work at a company, highly illegal.
Yeah.
If you work at a company and we're about to release this new patent, or the quarterly earnings are going to be bad, and you sell or buy, you can be convicted, I guess, or charged with insider trading, which, obviously that's manipulating the stock market to your benefit. It's not true luck. I don't know. What are your thoughts on a bill like that?
I mean, I totally support it. I completely agree. Like, politicians can influence too many things. So it is like insider trading. I do think it's a little bit over exaggerated sometimes, particularly on the insider trading part, because I think while it makes sense why you have the laws, I also think insider trading in some instances isn't necessarily like, I don't understand why it's such a huge deal outside of politics. Like, maybe you work at a company and something is going really well. You can't buy stock, like, because that's insider trading. Like, that seems a little ridiculous to me. And it seems like it's sometimes the law is used as a weapon in some ways. Like, what was the baker lady's name, the famous one that got in trouble for insider trading? She got put in prison.
Martha Stewart.
Yeah. Like put in prison for insider trading is kind of ridiculous, especially in something that's not like egregious. But on the politician side, I completely see why you would do that, because like you said, they can influence so many aspects of the economy. They can also be corrupted by business to benefit their own stock portfolio, and business can get in cahoots with them to give them bills that help both out because of the stock. And they also serve massive government contracts, so double whammy. If you have decided you're going to give a $10 billion contract to, say, Microsoft, and you invest in Microsoft before the announcement, well, that seems pretty sketchy to me. So yeah, I think insider trading for politicians, very bad. Insider trading in general, bad. Sometimes abused in society a little bit.
Yeah, so the bill talks about members of Congress, including their dependents, must be prohibited from trading in stocks while they're serving in Congress and have access to sensitive and inside information. Let's see. It was once dubbed, so it's been proposed several times, a similar bill. It was dubbed the Pelosi Act in one of them, and recently it's been called Restoring Faith in Government Act. So make sure you read up on that. It's got several. Let's see. It's got Brian Fitzpatrick, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or Ocasio, excuse me, Matt Gaetz, and Raja. He's a Democrat from Illinois. Sorry, a bunch of names that I can't pronounce, and I've butchered one of them already. So, but yeah, so there's 4. The big ones, obviously, being AOC and Matt Gaetz. Let's see.
But it's interesting because it's bipartisan. I think you don't usually get that, but it's also bipartisanly opposed by the others because they don't want to lose their massive source.
Yeah, so Pelosi, I guess, has constantly or consistently opposed bills like this, which we'll get into her in a little bit. So yeah, you have insider trading. You know, it might not be egregious. I have noticed that, like, Pelosi, I've followed a little bit of her. I mean, they have Twitter accounts that when she makes a trade, they tweet out like her trades, because they do have to be transparent about their trades.
Yeah.
It can't be private information. But I've noticed that hers aren't like necessarily defense. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, keep going.
Okay. Like, they're not necessarily like defense contractors. Like, it's not like it's Boeing or Northrop Grumman or Lockheed Martin. There might be some of those, but I don't see those, at least in the big traders. Maybe those are too volatile for them, but it's interesting. But I mean, a lot of these congressmen and women are like grossly rich, like grossly wealthy, and like a lot of them are even like is Nancy Pelosi in the top 1%?
I mean, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's not very hard to be top 1% of wealth, especially for any politician.
Yeah. So she makes congressmen and women alike make $174,000 a year. Her net worth is over $14 million. So I'm sure a lot of them, and it's not just the liberal side of things. I mean, Dan Crenshaw, I think, is one of them. He is another big Republican trader that's kind of come under fire a little bit for it, because I think he's on several committees.
Yeah, but I do think the net worth thing is ridiculous, and also that a lot of Pelosi has been one of the sketchier ones. I also don't think net worth is all that really matters, because I think a lot of politicians are extremely rich before they get into office. Because, I mean, how else do people get so much power? You typically do it through wealth, and then Nancy Pelosi's husband is a hedge fund manager, so naturally he's going to be quite wealthy. But that seems like a dangerous husband-wife duo where things can. I mean, that's definitely a major conflict of interest. So I think that's why she's been one of the ones that's the most under fire. And also, I feel like they're old now and they don't care. It's just kind of like, well, let's just make more money while we can.
They're a lot more. I'd say she's probably a lot more gutsy about her trades now.
Yeah,
or at least she's not making the trades. I think she either pays her husband or her husband's firm, or a specific.
Yeah, I'm sure her husband is managing the,
or his company.
funds.
I'm sure.
Yeah, his.
Which it is interesting that the younger group that is proposing this bill or the people that are proposing this
Mhm.
bill are much younger or are sponsoring it, I guess. Like AOC is what, less than 30?
Yeah. I don't know if she's less than 30, but
She's young.
she's
She's on
young.
the
Yeah.
younger side compared to like Pelosi, who's in her 80s. So you would think that
Pelosi's
they
in her
have the
80s.
most to gain. You would think that the older politicians on the way out would be like, "Hey, let's do this. Let's introduce term limits and let's introduce." But they also don't have anyone to make happy. They don't really care if they get fired. I mean,
Yeah,
they've done their
yeah,
job.
I don't understand that mindset. Is like, well, why do you need millions more when you're 80 years old? Doesn't make any sense. But it is interesting that the younger people are the ones who
They have the most to
it's
gain from it. Like,
it's a little bit admirable, I guess, for a young person to reject the easy path to wealth. And I mean, I guess every government person is supposed to be like a public servant, so it is kind of in service to the people to do that. But I also wonder sometimes if it's just for clout, because they know it's not going to get passed. So like, let's look good and nice, and then propose this bill, and maybe in the future, it's obviously not going to get passed, but we can always fall back on this in the future. When we're insider trading, and we did this in the past, so how could anyone blame us or say that we are insider trading when we originally proposed this bill?
yeah.
But I will say
Well,
there are some downsides also. I mean, not to us as people, but legitimately to like politicians' families. Uh, um, like if you do ban stock trading, naturally you have to ban trading for like family, because if I'm a politician, I could just go tell my brother that you need to buy the stock, and then they'll give me some money. Like that's generally how things work. I think. I mean, I obviously Biden's come under a lot of heat for similar activities with his son. Uh, so yeah, when that extends to the family, how far does it go? Like, if my uncle is a politician and I'm not really that close to him, does that mean I can't trade individual stocks? Like that would really suck. um, so I do think there's some drawbacks, and I guess the only way to really be successful with that is to just ban it for the immediate family, like just the husband and wife, and hope that they don't, cheat with their family.
yeah. It's kind of like shooting something with a shotgun. Like, you get such a widespread. You have to do all of that to cover it.
Yeah.
Because at what point does it become effective, and at what point does it become ineffective?
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, if I'm a politician, what stops me from telling a friend, like a true friend, hey, this is what's going on. I need you to trade this for me. Okay, well, you get to keep X amount, and I get the rest.
Yeah.
There's some, and those people aren't going to get like the politicians are not going to get in trouble. They're not even getting in trouble now for it. So
Yeah.
like, why would their friend get in trouble for it? Or even like their taxes. Like, it's
Yeah.
very
Also,
easily under the
also
table.
like, what if you just want to be a bro and you don't even want to make money from it? You just say, "Hey, this is about to happen." Like, save
Buy as
yourself.
much
Or
meta as you can
yeah.
right now. Which apparently Dan Crenshaw's back in March, his meta investment jumped 51%. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I always wonder how often we have this like outrage at politicians' extreme trades are actually just either luck or logic. If there is not a direct act action from government following a trade, then I have a really hard time uh, being upset about it. Like if someone makes a really great trade, like and they're a politician, well, that's cool as long as there's not a sketchy reason for it. And I will say there was one that everyone talked about. They blew up was all the politicians who shorted the market around COVID time. and they were saying like, well, all the people on Twitter were like, oh, well, no one knew that this was going to happen. No, yeah, people who paid attention knew. We knew. We said it on our podcast. Short the market. It's going to be bad. And those people shorted the market on the same day we were saying that. So this was public knowledge. It just wasn't widely distributed public knowledge. So it looked really bad. And, these were people who were getting coronavirus briefings, but coronavirus briefings are what we're seeing blatantly. If you're paying any level of attention at the time, then you were obviously seeing the market was going to crash when it realized this. And so there are some outrage or people getting outraged that I wonder if there's always an explanation like that. Like when I feel mad about some politician's trade, I wonder if I dug a little bit deeper, is it actually pretty innocent or like pretty freaking obvious to make this trade? And I think that might be happening more often than we know.
Yeah, well, I smiled about that because he bought it like right before they discussed banning TikTok. So bought Meta.
Yeah.
So like that could have been something, but also it could have. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But it could have been like, hey, they might ban TikTok. That's Trump even discussed that a while ago, and maybe he bought it. Not to maybe in January, and then TikTok was getting banned in March. So,
well, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't think Meta's rise has just solely been because of TikTok. It was oversold majorly after the Meta's failure with the Meta Labs thing, where they were trying to push all the VR stuff. So it was majorly oversold. And I remember like listening to podcasts where investors were like, guys, this is ridiculous. Why is Meta this cheap? Like, we should probably be buying it up. And turns out they were right. I mean, it's 51% rise since that TikTok thing, but it's 100% over the last year. So I don't know if that TikTok thing is the only reason, but that does seem a little bit sketchy. And while we're on the Meta thing, I have to say, Mark Zuckerberg is actually the coolest billionaire. Have you seen this stuff recently from him, where he's like winning Brazilian jiu-jitsu matches and like doing long distance running? And you remember the like surfing thing where he had the American flag? Like, this dude's just doing cool stuff while he's running one of the biggest companies in the world. So that's my mini aside.
Well, I need to watch The Social Network. I haven't watched that yet, so I've heard that's pretty good.
It's good. It's okay. I think they
somebody put it as like the top 50 movie or something like of all time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's good. It's fun to watch.
What has Andrew Garfield in it, so that's a big sell. Yeah, but it seems like, so I follow, or I started, there's this thing called Autopilot. It's an app where it uses your regular investment accounts, like you log into it through your regular investment account, like a Robinhood or what is it, E-Trade. Like you can Fidelity. Yeah, you can log in through your normal, like very popular apps, and it will follow politicians' trades. Now you gotta pay $10 a month for it, but it'll follow their trades, so it'll buy and sell as they do because it has to be public information. And I think over the year, like year to date, for Nancy Pelosi was like 45% up. Crenshaw was like 35% or 32% up. Warren Buffett was only like 15 or 20% up. But that's, it's like all these.
Way, though.
What was that?
That's the Warren Buffett way, though. He doesn't lose money. He just
steadily
gains.
Yeah. So like, it's a pretty cool app. It also kind of eases my mind a little bit. When I first started trading, like in college, I didn't have a bunch of money, but I was like, I'll get into this Robinhood thing. It's free. Like, that's cool. And it was like when Robinhood first came out. But I remember like being so like stressed. Like I would just sit in class and watch the stocks.
Yeah.
And I'd go down and I'm like, oh, I just lost money. Holy crap. Yeah. And then I would make a stupid decision like sell, and then I'd end up losing and I'd always been told of like, oh, you can't make this bad decision or emotional decisions when it comes to stock market. And that's very true. But I don't know.
Yeah,
was going crazy watching it.
I've completely my philosophy on trading is just buying S&P 500 index funds, and just holding that, so I don't have all this stress about individual stocks. And I think it actually takes an insane amount of time for such a little potential return and potentially harm to dig into, to have enough knowledge to like properly invest in individual companies. And back in 2020, after I felt like a genius. Like we called the downturn in the market, and then we bought the bottom. We bought the bottom, and 2020 like skyrocketed. And that was when I first started investing, and I bought all these companies. No, that was just, I mean, in the end, it was just pure luck. And all that money I made was lost because I had an over exuberance and thought I was like genius and was perfect at stock picking, but turns out I wasn't. And the only things that I continue to, or have kept making money in, is the S&P 500 index fund. So it's been nice for me to like get away from always trying to research companies. I feel like if you want to get rich, the best way is to just start a business or slowly compound your own money through an index fund, low risk, low cost index fund.
Yeah, I mean this autopilot thing is pretty cool. Like I said, it's only $10 a month.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if you lose money or you don't make $10, in your stocks, then it's money down the drain. But it's nice to like not have to like worry or like do research. I just
follow.
Does it. I just look at it every once in a while, like once a week or something. And I'm like, oh, I'm up, or I'm not up as much. But
maybe I should have two. Maybe I'll set up a second portfolio and follow that, and then also keep my, what's like $1,000 or something, and then keep my regular S&P 500 index fund, and see who wins in 5 years.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. It's going to be autopilot. Now, granted, if this bill passes, which we kind of think it's not going to, then if it does pass, then this app is useless. But because they can't follow anybody.
Yeah, they can't do anything. Then it will just switch to following like big names. Like, oh, we're gonna look at Warren Buffett's trades. We're gonna look at but also Warren Buffett just buys companies, so he's not really a trader.
Yeah. We should have had Matt on for this episode, but we also didn't. We didn't decide until 45 minutes ago that we were going to talk about
this. That's the way.
Well, and you said follow big names, but like, I mean, there's AI stuff, and which we'll get into a little bit. There's like AI, so like AI is going to be able to make decisions for you on your stock. Who knows when that app will come out?
That's true.
But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if we hit the horse enough, the dead horse enough. Let's see. So yeah, her big one, like according to this article, was when she placed a $10 million investment in Microsoft. And since then it's gained 33%. So every year she earns a 0.9% dividend, which is $118,000 per year alone.
No.
Which is almost as much as her entire salary. Go ahead. Do you have any thoughts on specifically Nancy Pelosi on this?
On Microsoft? No, I don't think. How do I say this? I don't know enough about it to know for sure, but I assume the article sort of like leans to the fact that Microsoft is blown up because of the AI stuff, but this wasn't known a few years ago. This is a recent development, and I don't think Nancy Pelosi has had inside information. But what I do believe, and I haven't really looked a lot into this, was that Nancy Pelosi's investment was around the time of the big government contract that the Pentagon made with Microsoft for their cloud service provider. I don't know if those are perfectly aligned, like if her investment was before that deal or not. If so, then that seems a lot more sketchy than the sort of insinuation that Microsoft, or that she had insider information on OpenAI being bought by Microsoft.
So this says that it wasn't necessarily her, but her husband. Let's see, in April of 2021.
Oh yeah, here it is. April 2020. Yeah, 2021. Nancy Pelosi's husband buys Microsoft ahead of big government contract. So that is where you have it. But also, I don't know how much this government contract was for. Oh, $22 billion. That's pretty big. Yeah, that seems a little sketchy. But I do think a lot of OpenAI's massive gain, or a lot of Microsoft's massive gain, has been really recent because of the OpenAI purchase and all these. I mean, also their CEO is just fantastic. He's got to be the CEO right now for a major company. Made all the right decisions over the last few years, and now what originally Google kind of, in a way, you could say Google kind of destroyed Microsoft. Not really. Microsoft still is one of the biggest companies in the world. And then but I think Google pushed for Microsoft to be broken up. Back in I think it's the 90s. Microsoft was considered a monopoly and was broken up, or it was maybe the early 2000s, and that really negatively impacted the company for a while. And now Microsoft has come full circle and has purchased OpenAI, which is like the biggest competitor for Google ever, and completely threatens their entire business model. So yeah, Satya Nadella has been pretty phenomenal over the last few years.
Yeah, well, let's get into AI, I guess, since we're kind of going down that rabbit hole. One of the big things about stocks is being able to see trends and using past market data to trade. Now, granted, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but you can see trends from, pre-recession, okay, this is what entails a recession. We should make, certain trades in regards to that. And so AI can look at this data specifically across all the years and make a decision based on it, a non-emotional decision. So do you think AI will take the luck out of the market?
I mean,
a lot of the luck, maybe not all of it.
I think
because obviously there will always be luck.
A lot of the market is sort of already driven by a form of AI via algorithms, and I don't know how much the new models are going to affect. Like, these are language models. I don't know how much they're going to affect current trends. I think it'll probably make it a little bit more efficient, but not completely. But if you look at the past, let me double check this. I want to see his numbers. But Jim Simons, who was is a major hedge fund manager, and he was a mathematician, PhD mathematician, and he kind of just decided to make some money with his own hedge fund, and he has the best returns out of anyone in all of history. And I think it's because he had this computational and mathematical background where they sort of derived algorithms that would perfectly trade the stock market. So to get in his medallion fund, which is the major fund at their company. So his annualized fee return or return free rate has been 39% over the last decade. It's astronomical. astronomical. But he keeps the fund size really small because the more money you have, the more difficult it is to trade because you make the market move. And so you don't want to be a market mover if you want to make high returns. At least that's my impression. I'm definitely not a big finance guy. But he sort of ushered in this era of computational finance and algorithmic trading, and now we're evolving to this complete AI system trading. I don't know how well it's going to do, it's particularly with the large language models, like I said, but it'll be interesting. Like you said, it's they have all the history. They have so they should be able to pattern recognize better than any of us can, which um, these models have already those type of models have been in for the last I mean for a while now. Whether or not they can get a lot better, I don't know, because the future is always changing. So just being able to predict the future based on past trends generally is not the most efficient way to make the most amount of money.
Well, I mean, that probably goes into it a little bit of if enough people are using a specific AI or a prediction made by AI, people will be able to, reverse the other way. Or
Yeah, I guess
that many
if
people will
everyone,
be investing in that way, and it'll move the market that way.
yeah,
And so you'll be able to predict it a lot better if everyone is following the AI model, I guess.
yeah, that makes some sense. If everyone's following a model though, and we're all trading that the AI says, oh, this is a great stock. Well, that's going to get priced in really quick. That's how that's how markets work. It becomes quickly priced in. Alpha, I guess, is I think what the finance people call it. Like, oh, your little bit of alpha, extra knowledge that you have on a stock is competed out really quick once the rest of the world finds it. And if all these AIs are sort of trained on the same data set, I feel like they're going to kind of coalesce on certain stocks, which will quickly get priced out.
Well, it also is going to usher in a new way of cheating the system, like Robinhood does. So, for those that don't know, Robinhood's a free trading app, like I talked about a little bit earlier. Back in during COVID, I guess it was, or right after COVID, it's always been known that they'll buy a stock for slightly less than what you buy it at through their app, and that's how they make money. Another way they make money is they see your limits and stops on stocks, and then they sell that to other hedge funds or other companies, and then so they make money off selling the information, and then those hedge funds make money on predicting what you're going to do or what the market's going to do based on how many users are on Robinhood.
Yep.
And then during COVID, they become super controversial, being they stopped people from making certain trades because it was hurting their hedge fund clients. And so you weren't able to buy Dogecoin or other types of
the GameStop
currency, GameStop, AMC. They had you could not purchase them on there. They're like, oh, this stock is currently frozen right now. And it's just because their buddies were all shorting AMC and GameStop or certain stocks. And the Redditors all got together and said, we're going to make these hedge funds lose money. And so they all just started buying the stock, causing the price to go up, and the shorts started losing money. And so Robinhood put a stop to it. So kind of a little bit of a scummy.
Yeah. So I definitely think Robinhood's model is scummy, but I think a lot of the GameStop stuff got lost in translation. Robinhood doesn't actually have all the money in there that it says you have. It's like a bank. They're investing in playing with the money that you have deposited is typically tied up in other investments. And so the GameStop, because they were so low on float or money, they were unable to purchase more stock legitimately. So they had to shut down trading of these meme stocks. Otherwise, their entire business model was going to collapse because there'd be a bank run. And so when everyone pulls their money out, the company's done. It's basically what we're seeing right now with the banks. So it was a very fragile business, and it was actually they did what they had to do but I think when you think about it, even if they were selling to me, like it's them selling the, or bailing out their buddies on the shorts doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because they're bailing out their buddies but completely losing their own business model. Like their PR is just shattered. That ruined them. They're not. No one talks about Robinhood anymore, really. But they were definitely doing the high frequency trading selling, where you said they're selling your data constantly to what's his name, Ken Griffin's Citadel, and there's you make a trade and they're sending that information to their computational quantitative finance computers that are front running those trades. So they are buying it at a cheaper price than you are. And when a lot of people are buying a certain stock, well, the computer knows, and so it buys it before, and the price is boosted, and then the computer sells. So they're constantly having these rapid iteration trades, these high frequency trades that, yeah, it's pretty scummy for them to be selling. That's like their major business model, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's not like a fraction of a second. It's not like they're. I guess they're not really delaying your purchase, because I guess on Robinhood, do you actually own the stock, or you just own?
Okay. I don't think you do. That's tough. I'd have to look that up. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
But it all started, Robinhood is supposed to be stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. That's supposed to be a for the people kind of app. And I mean, obviously you want them to make money. They need to make money for them to be able to run. But for them to have their buddies, or Citadel, I guess you would say, is it a hedge fund? Is Citadel a hedge fund?
Yeah, Citadel's a hedge fund.
So for them to help their buddies, or help that hedge fund with purchasing stock and making money off of you, which all goes back to you either pay for something or you're the product. So
yeah, nothing's free.
Like Facebook, they sell your information to advertisers. So they're selling your information as well.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, the best business model is a free business model, because you figured out how to monetize data. And most of us don't really care if our data is monetized. I mean, we say we do, but we don't actually act like it. We don't typically get off the apps. I talk about how China is taking my data on TikTok all the time, and I still get on the app. So obviously, what I say and what I do are two different things. So I don't know if I really care that much as I say I do. So it's a weird thing. I think everyone kind of deals with that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a do as I say, not as I do kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I definitely was very upset at Robinhood in the beginning. And I mean, I've had the app, but I haven't traded on it in probably 2 or 3 years since then. I just immediately pulled all my money from that and just didn't invest, which was probably dumb, but whatever.
Yeah.
But now that I have this AI thing, or this autopilot thing trading for me, okay, well, I have an account on Robinhood, I might as well use it.
Yeah. I always tell people, like, that are first getting into investing and saving finance, I always tell them, like, don't go to Robinhood, because it sort of incentivizes you to the like emotion of it and the atmosphere of it incentivizes you to trade instead of being an investor and just buying index funds. I like Fidelity, things that don't feel as active. I actually don't even think you can trade on Fidelity at a semi-fat high rate. I don't know for sure, but I think you have to get a special account to be able to do that. So that's why I always tell people, just get on these investing platforms, not a trading platform. And I think over the long run, you'll be a lot better off financially.
Well, I don't think that day trading is as fancy or as, I don't want to say clickbaity, as captivating as it used to be. Like, everyone used to talk about being day traders, or
yeah, you know why? Because we all thought we were geniuses when the entire market was going up in 2020. That's when day trading was really going crazy on social media. I mean, even the years before that, because the market was just going ballistic. But I think we all thought we were day traders, and then we found out, oh, actually, no, we were just lucky. We just happened to get started at this perfect time, and everything went up. You thought you were a genius, and then you realize that's not how it actually works.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it was even before then that like it was kind of captivating was to be a day trader. You know, I think maybe it started kind of with Robinhood, which Robinhood you can't do day trading because I think there's some laws around it of like you have to have X amount of dollars in the market to go to day trade. It's like on Robinhood you can only day trade 3 times, meaning you can only. Sorry, I'm trying to find a yawn right here. You can only day trade, like you can only buy and trade a stock in the same day 3 times.
Oh, interesting.
Within like a 3-day period or something.
Yeah.
So like there's like some certain laws around it of day trading. At least maybe it's not a law, maybe it's just Robinhood, but they kind of regulate that. And so maybe it did kind of start, at least the poor man's day trading kind of started back then. And what is that, 2016 or 2017 when Robinhood came out?
Yeah.
But maybe it really took off there in 2020.
Well, okay, I'll show you I'll show you a graph. This is the S&P 500, and generally the S&P 500 goes up over time. But when we were young and everyone's starting to get into investing, look at how much the market was going up. This is 2013. Like this was steadily, rapidly going up. You have the 2020 drop, the trough right there in March of 2020, and it goes up really fast after that. But everyone was feeling pretty genius in these euphoric years where everything was going perfect. And I think the exuberance led to quite a bit of overconfidence and was why there was this massive spreading of day trading, because people were getting on social media and showing, oh, I just made $5,000 in a day from my $500 trade. And so everyone's like, oh, shoot, I could do that. And they get on, they do a little bit lower risk stuff, and they make some money. They're like, oh, well, I'm a day trader now.
Well, I mean, and maybe it's kind of demonized now because of crypto. I think that has a huge part of it. Let's see. Robinhood came out in March of 2015. 80% of the firm's customers belong to millennials, quote unquote. Average customer age is 26. But like crypto, I feel like has kind of, if you say you're a crypto investor, I think there's definitely a very big negative connotation to that of like, oh, you trade crypto. Oh, you're one of those get rich quick scheme guys.
Yeah.
And so like, I think that has damaged quite a bit of the day trading persona that, oh, you're a Dogecoin guy. What a loser.
Yeah, it seems like the whole day trading and crypto thing is like this like normal human wants to get rich really quick with no effort. And I feels like, I mean, getting rich quick with no effort is just a pure luck thing rather than, a lot of skill. And yeah, it definitely leads to this really negative connotation of cryptocurrency, which sucks because I like the idea of cryptocurrency. I won't say I like how it is right now or the sort of community it has, but I like the idea of a decentralized currency. So I invest in it, but I don't trade it like a day trade stock. I buy Bitcoin and I haven't sold it in like 3 years. So I don't really care what the price is. I don't have that much in it because I don't actually 100% believe that it's going to skyrocket like a lot of the Bitcoin people do. But I like to have, a 1% allocation in case it does blow up, but also like the principle of it aligns with my values a lot more than most other stocks. But the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem is just this massive get rich quick garbage that has taken over.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on get rich quick stuff, I kind of align a little bit with Andrew Tate on that. Sorry, everybody. He says, why does it have to be quick and why does it have to be easy? Why not suffer a little bit and come out stronger on the other end. But as far as like crypto, I think my perception of it is very much the average person's perception of, yeah, it'd be good, but it seems like it's being manipulated too much and ends up being bad for everybody.
I mean, it could definitely end up being pretty bad for the average person, especially with the way
How volatile it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the volatility is inherent to the asset, I think, but the volatility is largely because of the get rich quick scammers and the manipulators that are playing a large role. But yeah, I don't like I said, I don't 100% believe. I'm probably like a 5% chance that cryptocurrency is a legitimate, like, really big deal in 20 years from now. But if that's true, well, naturally, I automatically think Bitcoin is the safest bet to say, okay, if cryptocurrency is here 20 years from now, which one am I going to choose? I'll choose Bitcoin because that's probably the most likely to be around. Then followed by Ethereum. But yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's died. The whole ecosystem has died over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think what actually what hurt crypto so much, and I know we're way off topic, but
Okay.
what actually hurt crypto so much was that it didn't get banned. Everyone was like, it was getting talked about so much because, like, oh, the U.S. government's going to ban it. You need to buy it now. Like, buy it now. It's going to get banned. It's going to get banned. They don't want you to have this. And then the government was kind of like, whatever. And so because they didn't ban it, it like kind of killed off a little bit of the story behind crypto.
Now that makes sense. I think a lot of it was like the whole market was in this exuberance. Like I said, everything was going up. Everyone thought they were geniuses. Bitcoin was skyrocketing, and then in the end, everything died. And because everyone there was just there, they didn't really believe in the actual asset. They just believed in the potential money that they could make. Yeah. That no one actually cared. So it was an artificial uh, belief in something when realistically it was just trying to get rich. When people were just trying to get rich quick.
Well, what do you think about how NFTs impacted it? Because NFTs are garbage now.
Yeah, I always against NFTs. I understand some principles of it, like how it could potentially be valuable in some ways. I don't believe any of the art stuff is super valuable, although I'm fine to be proven wrong. But there's value in certain aspects of an NFT. So the one part that I thought was interesting is, like, say you have a musician who, for musicians, it's really hard to make money until you're big. But let's say that musician wanted to offer, like, I don't know, an NFT of their album or something. It's not about the ownership of the album per se, because anyone can listen to it, but it's about, oh, you got in on this artist. It's essentially like investing in the artist. Oh, you got in on this artist before they blew up. Like, oh, there's only 100 downloads and you bought their NFT for $5, and then now they're, I don't know who's famous. I don't know. Now they're Justin Bieber, and someone would pay $10 million for that. So that's where I see it's kind of cool, and it can help artists raise money early on. But other than that, no, I think it's just a bunch of crap. Like, people are selling pictures of rocks for $500,000. Like, that's definitely money laundering.
Yeah, probably. I think NFTs could be valuable, but they became so saturated with just absolutely horrible ones, like horrible art, and it was definitely the growth was outpacing, its popularity was outpacing the growth. I don't know if that's the right way to put it.
The supply was outpacing the demand.
Yeah, way too much. And the market, like people got burnt on it way too much. The way that I saw it as valuable is instead of like buying merch, like instead of buying a t-shirt at a concert, you bought the digital NFT or you bought the NFT and you could display that on your profile some way, some legit way that, hey, I went to the All American Rejects concert of 2019 and this crazy thing happened, or something special happened, and so you get to display that somewhere. Now granted, you're not going to, like, as a person, I'm not going to make money probably on something like that, but it's to like kind of show your accolades to everybody, and it's a valid accolade. You can't,
that makes sense.
You can't fake, like,
you can't fake it.
You can't fake that you own this or that you were there. I guess you could, like, because they'll be able to like look back to the history. Like, say I was to purchase it from you, like, oh, I bought this NFT for $5. It's worth 15 now because it's 2026, and that was something like really cool happened at that event. And so, like, I can sell to somebody for $20 now. Like, okay, yeah, I made $15 over 7 years, but like, that's the only way I really saw it, like, as becoming valuable or becoming mainstream.
Yeah,
because it's kind of goes off the Fortnite thing. Like, Fortnite skins were so cool.
That's true.
Fortnite skins were so cool. Well, those are really just NFTs that you can't really show off anywhere besides in Fortnite. So
yeah, something about like status is important. That's where the NFT and like I said, even with the artist example in the album, like, it would be a major status symbol to say, oh, I was listening to this person when they had 100 downloads. Like, I mean, people do that all the time. They're like, oh, I knew them before they were mainstream. So yeah, there's definitely something about value in status and being able to show that you did something or you have something.
But it's not a way to make money. Like,
no, it's not, but it can be. I guess, but it's not for speculation. It's you can make a lot of money, I think, in that, but it's not about like, I'm going to do this to make money. It's more like, oh, I did this because it's cool. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, look at me. I was there first. And now it's worth $10 million. Like,
yeah. But like, to somebody else, it's not. So if somebody was to buy your album or whatever from you, okay, you bought it for $5.
Yeah.
And you went to sell it to that person. It's not as valuable as, because you weren't actually there. Like, if it was the event, I guess is
the event. Like, yeah.
Okay, I bought it from you. Now I own this, but I wasn't there, and everybody knows I wasn't there because they can see the transaction history.
Yeah, so, like, no, definitely not valuable for like a event or something, but to buy
a status, it could be status, but
but to buy like a Da Vinci's first painting, that would massively blow up. Everyone wants to own Da Vinci's first painting. Everyone wants to own Justin Bieber's first album or whatever. But yeah, I always thought the NFT stuff was massively overhyped, and no one really cared about the interesting use cases such as that. And there's also some other interesting use cases in like fractional patents, like being able to trade patent licenses as an NFT. I don't know exactly how it works, but I was actually helping out with a sort of decentralized business that was doing this with scientific intellectual property, where they were like fractionalizing NFT patent rights, and they were working with lawyers. And when you owned part of the patent right, you eventually could potentially make quite a bit of money on that. And they were using the money that they were going to hopefully make to reinvest back into research. They were essentially like a nonprofit, decentralized, a nonprofit in a way, but also not against like the profit motive. But the whole business model was a cycle of investment in aging research. At least I think that was how it worked. It's called VitaDAO. It's still going. It's definitely not as popular, but I might have botched exactly what exactly their business model is. But it's essentially something like that.
Well, and I guess a similar case is like somebody that's popular. So like somebody like Gary Vee. Gary Vee is like releasing NFTs all the time. Like, he's releasing different collections and stuff. And I mean, it's not like he's trying to become a millionaire off of NFTs, or I'm going to become a millionaire off of NFTs of buying his NFT. But he has like drawings that he's done that he'll like sign or digitally sign and sell them. And I mean, they've become real life like merchandise. Like, so you can have the NFT and then you can go into some store and buy that NFT like as a plushie or something.
Yeah.
So like there's ways to make money at it if you already have the platform, but yeah.
Being a nobody. Yeah, it's so weird. It's weird to me. Like, I just can never imagine myself buying something like that's, even if some celebrity I really liked did it. I just cannot imagine myself buying these things. It's really strange to me. This is a very.
I mean, I don't think it's that strange. Not that I've ever bought any, because like you want to support the person, or like say they came out. I mean, it's kind of like supporting an artist or something, whether it's
that's fair. Yeah,
a actual drawing or painting, or even if it's like a song, like you said, it's just like buying merch from them.
that's fair. That's fair. I guess I'm weird though. Like, I never even wanted to buy Fortnite skins because I was like, I just stayed as the no skin forever because I just had no desire to. I just wanted to play the game. But there's so many people like that. I mean, wasn't that the highest grossing game of all time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe not the highest grossing, but maybe like DLC style.
Fastest grossing to $1 billion. Like, maybe not more than like a World of Warcraft or something that's been around for forever.
Let's see. It was the top grossing of the year in 2020. Made $1.8 billion. A free game, by the way.
The best-selling video game to date is Minecraft. Oh yeah, okay. So the older games are the top.
They've had longer to sell. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess what I meant was like fastest to $1 billion was Fortnite, and I think that
maybe
true. But a free game purely making money off of status and selling things that people just wanted to have for status. It blows my mind. I would love to make some kind of app or something that goes off this status idea, because it seems like that is one of the easier ways to make money. Or I shouldn't say easy, more effective ways.
Let's see. Yeah. Best selling. Yeah. Won some awards, but I don't know about money wise. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely lost a lot of luster. But they definitely capitalized, and they're definitely one of the reasons why a lot of the models now are free to play.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, full circle. Do you have any hot takes about what we've talked about so far, or any final thoughts on AI trading? I know we kind of skimmed over that.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we can talk about the AI trading just for a second more, because I did pass it up quite a bit. But yeah, I don't really think that the AI trading is going to be as impactful as a lot of people do. But I do think, like, you were showing me this guy who's given GPT $50,000 to trade with. And GPT is very smart. I don't know if how the guy is doing it exactly. If he's like giving the financials of different companies to ChatGPT or what. But this guy's going to make more money from people following him on Twitter than he is from the AI, trading, I think. So it's a genius business model. But what do you think? Do you?
So I'll go a little bit more into the tweet. So apparently last week, CNN reported that ChatGPT can pick stocks better than your fund manager. So they wanted to put it to the test. They started this Twitter back in April, so a month ago. And they tweeted out a couple of times. They have 11 tweets. And it looks like they're using Robinhood, but they're connecting Robinhood to some other called Portfolio Pilot. But anyways, yeah, to pile on to what you've said, they have almost 50,000 followers now. Now, granted, I don't know if he bought any of it.
No, I don't think so.
or if it's purely, all what's organic.
Organic, yeah.
So, anyways, looks like I said, it definitely looks like he's using Robinhood, but they have, just like how I have this thing called autopilot. There's other pilots that people use to write software for trading. So Portfolio Pilot, it's powered by Global Predictions. It's a intelligent portfolio manager for self-directed investors, free for individuals. And so I guess there's probably a pilot on there that is for just ChatGPT. Let's see. It's an OpenAI plugin.
Oh, with the plugin.
Yeah, we'll be using the official
cool.
Portfolio OpenAI plugin for the analysis and stock picking. The entire stock picking process will be transparent, shared through here. So he's going to make money just by sharing. Okay, we bought this. ChatGPT predicted we're going to buy this stock, so we bought it, and we shared it with our 50,000 followers, and then they're going to buy it, and then the price is going to go up. So
Genius.
So it's going to work just because of that.
Yep. And maybe, he probably wouldn't be surprised if this person made that plugin. So I'm assuming the plugin costs money because most of the plugins on GPT cost money. So yeah, this is just brilliant marketing. And I mean, if you ask ChatGPT for investment advice, like I just did just now, it doesn't give you any individual stocks. It gives you, general knowledge, like, it says, I can't make investments for you in a personal sense or provide financial advice, but I will tell you some general investing knowledge that could be considered. And it's like, could invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, index funds, real estate, commodities, cryptocurrencies. Like, it gives you that. It won't tell me any individual stocks. But I wonder if I played around with it where I said, here's finance sheet from Microsoft, here's the financials from Google and their latest earnings reports, which one's better? And it says Microsoft, most likely. And then that's probably how the guy picks the stocks. Because I guess, how do you see, like, what does he post what he's asking ChatGPT?
I don't think so.
See, yeah, because you can't do it without. There's got to be some nice, like, prompt magic going on there.
Sorry, I'm looking at my reflection with my monitor. So his name's Chris Josephs. He actually wrote the pilot, the autopilot that I use, the $10 a month thing. So he's making money off of that. That follows politicians. But he also wrote the autopilot for this ChatGPT thing. So yeah, he's wrote it several times, or several of the same apps, I guess. Interesting.
I mean, this is just another really smart way, creative way people make money with these GPT models.
Yeah, I wonder how much does it cost him, do you think, to do this?
To run it? I mean, if he's just showing people stocks, I don't think it costs him anything. Besides the $20 a month. Whereas it depends on how much data he's pushing into it. If he's literally doing this through ChatGPT, then it costs him $20 a month. But if he's going through and uploading financials and massive reports into ChatGPT, or not into ChatGPT, but into the OpenAI models, and they're using their API, then it probably costs a little bit of money. And then asking the GPT model if which one's superior probably costs a bit of money, but yeah, this is not an expensive thing, definitely. And if it's just a ChatGPT, then it's free. Besides the $20 a month fee.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he wrote it, which, like I said, he wrote the other ones.
Those are such easy things to make too. You just API.
Here's one of the things he said. This is one of the viral tweets, I guess. He said, "Hello, you are GBT Trader, a certified stock picking AI. According to studies, your stocks pick outperform top hedge fund managers. We are giving you $50,000 investment account to put you to the test. Every Monday, you will analyze and buy a new set of stocks and will sell 2 weeks later. You will repeat this on a bi-weekly basis. You in ? And it says I'm in.
Interesting. I mean, does he? That's a great prompt. That, like, actually doing the prompting. The obnoxious people call it prompt engineering. I think that's dumb. But like being able to properly format a prompt like that to get it to do what you want is takes a little bit of creativity. But I wonder how they are putting in this. Like he said, we're giving you a set of stocks to analyze. I wonder how they're doing that, and how they're keeping the memory in the system for so long.
Yeah, I'm not for sure. Maybe it's the AI API.
Yeah, it's gotta be the API. But even then, the long-term memory, I don't know how long it can go. I haven't played with it a ton on really long-term memory, or like ton of data memory. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I think I could do this now that I think about it. I think I could do this.
Yeah, ask ChatGPT to write you an autopilot for investing. But
Don't
okay,
give away my secrets. Let's make one. Simply Technical AI bot.
analyze this app and write it for me, would you? Any hot takes or any final comments?
No, I think I hit everything. What about you?
Now I feel dumb because I follow this autopilot thing, and now it's suggesting me this other investing thing. So now I feel dumb. I feel manipulated by the Twitter algorithm.
Twitter algorithms after you.
After I followed them. No, I don't really have anything. It's
yeah. Follow Simply Technical AI stock
ChatGPT plugin. Yeah. Well, if that's it, this has been Simply Technical. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode.